Okay, this is the biggest subject of character that I've found over the months and years that I've been collecting information and studying it specifically, not just tertially, not just secondarily, but primarily studying character. The character trait of just comes up. And let me just raise this question. Do you ever think or question God that what if somebody didn't know about God? Is he going to throw them in hell or whatever? That's not fair. Or I don't believe in God because there are people that don't know him or the gospel can't reach them, and if God's going to condemn them for not believing, I don't believe in that kind of God. Or God, if you're questioning the fairness of God, you yourself are not just. Because if you truly knew what the word just means, you would know that God is the fairest of them all. And you would know why. Because God needs to be just. He doesn't need you. He doesn't need worship. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't need food. He doesn't need applause. He is just totally exalted. He exists. He's always had Jesus, his son. He's always had the Holy Spirit. He doesn't need anything, but at some point in eternity past, he decided, I need to show my character to people. And one of those character traits is being just. There's a synonym for that in the Bible that's more used than the word just, but it's used in conjunction in the same sentence as the word just. Because God needs to be just. He needs to be fair to you. He needs to show you how fair he is. But if you're questioning God's justness, saying he's not a fair God or God's mean, or you hear something about the Bible and say, well, that's nasty. I don't believe in that God. He's unfair. He's a murderer. He's a megalomaniac. You yourself are misjudging him. You're a poor judge. That's why Jesus said, don't judge. He's talking about you because you're so messed up. You don't understand the vision, the views, the framework, the worldview of God. You just don't understand his personality. If you did, you would want to be judged by him alone and no one else. Because he knows everything. He doesn't need anybody to tell him anything. He can read your heart, your mind, your spirit. In one place it says the Spirit of God communicates with God, searches our hearts who believe, and brings it to God. There's communication going on that we don't even know about through our spirits. Through our spirit, through the Holy Spirit he gives to Christians, and it communicates to God. It says it in Romans. It's profound. God has power. We're not him. He's vastly more powerful. But as I walk down the street here, I had to share with you. I felt the need. I've got to start talking in a series about God's justness. There's too much to say. Out of all the character traits that I've identified and studied at this point, and there are more that I want to discover, his justness is the biggest folder I have. I've collected more quotes from the ancients, from today, made my own quotes, my own study from non-biblical sources, biblical sources, believers, unbelievers, whatever. It's the biggest category I have found. I have the most material on that. That tells me something that I unwittingly am realizing. It is a big, important character trait, especially about God. So this is part one of a series, God needs to be just. So let me the subject on this video is, if you think God's unjust, you have a justice problem. You have a judgment problem. And that's going to be video chat 2 on how to be a good judge. How to be just. That's what just means. How to be a good judge.